Have you ever wondered how a young king from a small kingdom in Macedonia could conquer vast territories and etch his name in the annals of history forever? The life and words of Alexander the Great may offer some clues. Each of these profound quotes encapsulates a vision or principle that guided him through a life of conquest and exploration. Let's dive in and unpack the wisdom in these statements. I am not afraid of an army of lions led by a sheep, I am afraid of an army of sheep led by a lion. Here, Alexander underscores the paramount importance of leadership. It's not just the capabilities of individual soldiers that count, it's the quality of the person leading them. A strong leader can transform even the most unremarkable group into a force to be reckoned with. So, what kind of leader are you or would you like to be? There is nothing impossible to him who will try. This line embodies the spirit of relentless ambition. For Alexander, limitations didn't exist, they were merely challenges to overcome. It wasn't about guaranteed success, but about the will to attempt, the willingness to risk failure. What challenges have you deemed impossible, and what would happen if you gave them a try? I would rather live a short life of glory than a long one of obscurity. Alexander died young, but he achieved more in his short life than many do in a long lifetime. This quote emphasizes his desire for a life of significance, for making a mark so indelible that it would last for ages. How would you weigh glory against longevity in your own life? Toil and risk are the price of glory, but it is a lovely thing to live with courage and die leaving an everlasting fame. This one is about the cost and reward of achieving greatness. The road to glory is steep, fraught with hardships and dangers. But for Alexander, the potential rewards, a legacy that survives death, made all struggles worthwhile. Are you willing to pay the price for an everlasting impact? Fortune favors the bold. Alexander was a risk-taker, and this quote encapsulates his belief that bravery is often rewarded. The gods, or fate, or luck, seem to smile more readily upon those who step boldly forward. Where in your life could a little boldness make a big difference? I'm indebted to my father for living, but to my teacher for living well. Here Alexander acknowledges the dual influences that made him who he was. His father, King Philip II of Macedonia, gave him life, but his teacher, Aristotle, gave him the tools to live it well. Who has equipped you for a life well lived? Conquer your fear, and you will conquer death. This is a potent message about the power of courage over our ultimate fate. Fear, in many ways, can be a worse enemy than death because it prevents us from fully living. Are there fears holding you back from seizing your destiny? Sex and sleep alone make me conscious that I am mortal. In this line, Alexander speaks to the humbling realities that even great kings can't escape basic human needs. Despite all his divine aspirations and ambitions, he acknowledges his mortality. What keeps you grounded when you're reaching for the stars? If I were not Alexander, I should wish to be Diogenes. This quote offers a glimpse into Alexander's respect for different forms of greatness. Diogenes was a philosopher who shunned material wealth and social status, opting for a simple life. Alexander's admiration for him speaks to the multifaceted nature of achievement. What other forms of greatness do you admire? Remember, upon the conduct of each depends the fate of all. This quote encapsulates the shared responsibility of each person in the team or community. Each individual's actions contribute to the collective outcome. When you act, do you consider how your actions might affect those around you? So, as we navigate through our own challenges, what lessons can we draw from Alexander's powerful words? His quotes offer us a map to the mindset that conquered the known world: audacity, leadership, ambition, and a thirst for everlasting glory. Are you ready to take up your own mantle of greatness? The tale of Alexander the Great, a saga so grand, so epic, that even the mere mention of his name still echoes with power and glory. Are you ready to be swept off your feet by the riveting narrative of a man whose ambition knew no bounds? Let's embark on this mystical journey, tracing the footsteps of Alexander from his cradle to his untimely but immortal grave. The Prodigy arises. Can you feel the tension in the room? In the royal palace of Pella, in ancient Macedonia, a baby is born. But this is no ordinary child, this is Alexander, destined to be great. His father, King Philip II, rules an emerging kingdom, but young Alexander is tutored by none other than Aristotle. Yes, the Aristotle. Can you imagine the intellectual powerhouse that was brewing in the confines of this palace? Ascending the throne, the challenge begins. Fast forward to a critical juncture, the assassination of Philip II. The kingdom holds its breath, power vacuums are dangerous. But wait, Alexander, just 20 years old, seizes the throne with an iron grip. Would he live up to his father's legacy, or even surpass it? The stage is set. Your heart beats faster, something monumental is about to happen. The wings of ambition, to conquer the world. Alexander gazes toward Persia, an empire grander, richer, and more formidable than Macedonia. Ordinary men would tremble. But Alexander is no ordinary man. He gathers his armies, crosses the Hellespont, and thus begins the most audacious military campaign in history. Can you sense the anticipation, the sheer audacity of what he's about to attempt? Battles, sieges, and the path to immortality. You might want to hold on to your seat for this part. From the Battle of Issus to the Siege of Tyre and the conquering of Egypt, Alexander's brilliance as a military strategist is unfurling like a scroll of endless victories. But, wait for it. He declares himself a god, the son of Zeus. Blasphemy or divine inspiration? You decide. Into the unknown, India and the limits of mortality. By this point, Alexander's men are weary, their eyes filled with dreams of home. But their leader is relentless, pushing further into India. Here, he faces King Porus in the fierce battle of the Hydaspes. He wins, of course, but something changes. The weight of mortality descends, and a longing for home surges within him. Would he make it back? The suspense is nearly unbearable. The inevitable twilight, the end of an era. Babylon, a city of splendor and the stage for our final act. At just 32, illness overtakes Alexander. The man who seemed invincible, who declared himself a god, is reminded of his own mortality. As he draws his last breath, he leaves an empire without a clear successor. To the strongest, he supposedly whispers. Chaos ensues, but the legend, that's immortal. Now, take a deep breath. You've just journeyed through a life so extraordinary that its real events surpass even the most fantastical legends. Alexander the Great, the king, the conqueror, the legend. A life lived on the edge of ambition and possibility. A life that raises the question, what grand designs would you dare to dream, and how far would you go to make them a reality? So if you're feeling inspired, you know what to do. Hit that like button, share this video, and come join our tribe of history buffs and wisdom seekers. Until next time, keep exploring and keep learning.